cooking up a pasta bake today. Now this pasta bake, it's going to have various cheeses. Also we're going to use some beefsteak mince, homemade tomato sauce, and just bring this together, and it's an absolute delicious pasta bake. And it's so easy to do because once you put it together, you just place it in the oven, cook it up, serve it up, and it's wonderful. So nice and simple. So just to go through the ingredients now. Pasta wise, I'm going to be using penne, 500 grams of that, so about half of that packet. Then we've got 500 grams of beefsteak mince. Going to fry that up with one onion that I'm going to chop down nice and fine. We're also going to make a homemade tomato sauce. Now for that I'm going to use 2 cans of tomatoes, a couple of cloves of garlic, a little bit of salt, freshly ground black pepper, and maybe a little bit of sugar, just to sort of take the acidity out and, you know, to get it how I want really. Now cheese wise, I'm going to be using various cheeses. Ricotta cheese, I've got 2 tubs of that, so each tub's 250 grams. Put those in a bowl, mix it with an egg, whisk it up a little bit, and then when you've got your penne cooked, you can drain it off and add it into that ricotta mixture, and it will just give the pasta a beautiful flavour to start with. Now other cheeses, I've also got grated Parmesan. Probably use about 3 or 4 tablespoons of grated Parmesan. I've got mozzarella cheese, not going to use all that. Probably about 150 grams of grated mozzarella cheese. Also, I've got an extra mature cheddar. This is a sharp cheddar, so I'm not going to grate that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to cut it in thin slices, long ways, so that in between the layers of pasta I can tuck some of that in there and oh, it'd just be delicious. So really, apart from a little bit of oregano, that's all the ingredients. Nice simple ingredients, but it ends up making something wonderful. Now what I'm going to do first of all is go over to the hob. I'm going to start off by cooking the homemade tomato sauce because that's going to take the longest. So let's go over to the hob, get on with the cooking. So we're going to get on with the cooking. Now I've got myself a pan, just going to put some olive oil in there, switch the heat on fairly lowish, and then I'm going to slice up and put the piece of garlic in there. Give it the occasional stir, just get a nice light golden brown colour. This is all about getting the flavours into the oil. As soon as you start with the garlic and the oil, your kitchen smells wonderful, so good start. Now I'm just starting to get a light golden brown colour. So I'm going to put in the cans of tomatoes. So let's just pop that in. And the other one. Now with the 2 cans, just put a bit of water in there. Swish it around a little bit from each can. So you kind of clean them out really. That's it, lovely. Let's add a little bit of salt. It, and some freshly ground black pepper. Give that a little stir. Now you probably need to turn the heat up because we've put cold tomatoes in there, so bring it up, get it bubbling, and then you can turn it down on a fairly low simmer. I'd say for about 20 minutes, maybe 25 minutes. At some stage through that, I'm just going to taste it and add a little bit of sugar as required. Now I've been cooking the tomato sauce for about 15 minutes. Now what I'm going to do with this is give it just a quick taste. See how it is. It's nice. I will just add a little bit of sugar because I always think it just needs a little bit. I mean obviously do the amount to taste. I'm just going to sprinkle some in. That'll do. Not too much. And then you can give that a stir, and you can always taste it again and add a little bit more if you want to. So let's carry on cooking, probably for another 10 minutes. Now what I might also do, let me just come around the other side. And I think I'm going to give it a squash down. So rather than getting my mixer out, I'm just using the sort of thing I'd use for mashed potatoes. I'm just going to squash it down a little bit. Just make it a little bit smoother. So now I've got the tomato sauce just gently bubbling away. What I might do is actually move it to the back burner because then I can start getting on with the mince. So again, let's put a similar heat. Just move it to the back and then I can bring a pan and we can get on with the mince. Now for cooking this mince, I've got the pan there, the heat's still on, so you know it's already probably getting a little bit warm. And let's just put some oil in there. I'm going to use olive oil. Just let that come up to the heat a little bit more, and then I'm going to add the chopped up onions. I'll just give that a quick fill. Just warming up, so I think we'll put those in. Give that a swoosh around. Try and get it all covered with that oil. And I'd say just give this, you know, 2 or 3 minutes, just to slightly soften them down, and then we're going to start putting the mince in there. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to mix that, push that all over to the side, and then I'm going to start putting the mince in, and then we can start kind of folding it in. Might just turn the heat up a little bit more. Now again, I'm going to season this, just a little bit of salt. A little bit of freshly ground black pepper. So keep it on a nice high heat, turn it over, so we're kind of cooking it all evenly. And just wait until it's cooked nicely really. There isn't any sort of pinky bits. Now again, I might as well add the oregano. I've probably got like a good teaspoonful there. Dried oregano. And again, just keep turning it over, mix it all around, move the onions around. We don't want it to get all sort of burnt, just nicely cooked. And then that will be ready for that tomato sauce. I mean, the tomato sauce is nearly cooked now. And then when we put the tomato sauce in this pan, we carry on cooking for another 10 or 15 minutes after that. So it all gets cooked lovely. Now what I am going to do is just turn the heat down a little bit. That's it. Now I'm going to add the tomato, so the homemade tomato sauce. Got it here at the back. And I think I'll just be careful and put some of the liquid in. Scoop some in. Scoop it all in. And really you want to cook this again for about another 15 minutes, so it's all bubbling away, and again just give it the occasional stir. And you can all, you know, even at this stage you can taste a little bit of the tomato, just make sure it's how you want it. If you want to add a little bit more oregano you can, or a little bit of salt, sugar, just get it so it's really going to be a tasty layer. So let's turn it down just a fraction more. So I'm going to leave that bubbling away, give it the occasional stir, I would say for about 15 minutes. Now what I'm going to get on with next is cooking up the penne, the pasta, because that's going to take about 8, maybe 10 minutes. So let's go and boil the kettle, get a big sized pan and put about half that packet, 500 grams of penne in the boiling salty water. So let's first of all tip some boiling water straight from the kettle, speed it up a little bit. I'm going to put some salt in there, so it's sort of salty water. And turn the heat on fairly high to sort of get it boiling. And then we're going to add the pasta. That's it. Now let's get on with the pasta. Now my pasta says between 11 to 13 minutes. So I'm going to do about 9 minutes, maybe 10 minutes for mine. So let's put about half this pack, maybe a little fraction more than half a pack. Let's have a look. Just a little bit more, just to make sure I've got enough for the size of dish I'm using. So there you go. I've used about 2/3 of the pack in the end, so slightly more. Now with the pasta, let it come up to a boil, and then you can turn it down fractionally. Don't use a lid, and obviously 9 or 10 minutes. So however long your pasta says, what you want to do is give it maybe 2 minutes less than what it recommends, and then you can tip it into a colander and drain it off. Now with the pasta, just give it a quick move around, And we're going to try some of that because I've been cooking for nearly 10 minutes and I think we're just about there. Let me just try a little bit of that. It's just right. It's not chalky. It's got a little bit of a bite to it. It's not all rubbery, so that's good. Turn that off the heat. Let's switch that off. Now also, I'm going to just check me meaty sauce with that sort of homemade tomato sauce. So let's just try a little bit of this and see how it is. Because it's a good time to try it. That's got a lovely flavour. I think, for me, it just needs a little pinch more salt. And also, some of this oregano. So let's put a little bit more of that in. That's it. And really, you can give that a stir around. So we've got the meaty sauce done. So switch all the heat off. Now I've got the pasta. I'm going to go over and drain this off. So get yourself a colander, drain it off, and then we can take it over to the table, and that's ready to tip into this ricotta and egg mixture, which only takes like a minute to make up. So now we've got the pasta drained off, just leave that for a moment. We're going to quickly get on with the ricotta and egg mixture. So let's start off with an egg. Just put that in there. As always, try not to get the shell in there. Just give that a quick move around. That's it. Now, I'm going to grab the ricotta cheese. Now we've got 2 tubs of this, so just put in the first one and do the same with the second one. Right, let's just mix that around. And it should go fairly creamy with that egg. There you go, that's it, like a thick cream. Now just leave that for a moment. I'm going to go and get the pasta that we've drained off. Now with the pasta I did put a little bit of butter once we drained it. Only a small bit, but just put that in there. So I've used the original sort of pan because I knew it would all fit back in there. So try and get that in there. Otherwise you could use a big bowl, whatever you got. That'll do. Put those bits in. Now let's just give it a mix. You want to get it all mixed up with that ricotta cheese and that egg. So just give it a good mix. And that will make a lovely cheesy mixture on the pasta. Look at that. That is looking delicious. And try that one. That's nice. So I've got my dish and I'm going to start assembling this lovely baked pasta. Now what I'm going to start off with is the tomatoey mixture. That's it. Just spread that around a little bit, up to the edges, just to make sure that nothing's sticking. Yeah. Now let's get some of this pasta that we've got in this ricotta. So grab some of that. You just want to really make a layer of this really. Now I've got a nice bit of cheese there. That's it, let's put that on there like that. Nice and simple, put that one on. That's the cheddar. Again, let's put some more of that meaty sauce on there. So tomato, then we've got the pasta. So let's grab some more of this. That's it. Now cheese wise, I'm going to use a little bit of mozzarella on there. Also, some of this Parmesan cheese. I love Parmesan. Give this a good layer, good sprinkling. Oh, delicious. So we've got the cheese on there, so now again we can go on with some more of that sauce. You do want to keep a little bit of the sauce just at the end, so that'll do us. Mix that around, squash it down a little bit. Like that. Whoa. Now again, we've got some more of that cheddar cheese, so let's just finish off that bit. Obviously my dish is getting quite full, so don't overdo it. If you've got a little bit too much, I think 500 grams might have been alright actually. But anyway, and again, just a little bit of parmesan on that one. Do all the cheeses to taste. Then I think we're gonna put some more pasta on now, because I want to keep the last little bit of tomato sauce just for the end really. So, get that on there. I'm gonna pile this up a little bit. Right, let's see how we go. Get a bit more in there. Yep. Exactly what I said not to do. Don't pile it too high. But, I don't know. Waste not, want not. Oh, let's go for... I think this one, I'm going to go for the rest of the tomatoey stuff. So, just spread that around. A little bit here and there. Oh, I'm liking this. That's good. Shame we didn't have a bit more, but that will do. That will do. Also, I've got a little bit of oregano there. I know we did add a little bit more into the meaty stuff, but I'm just going to sprinkle a bit on top, along with some parmesan. And some more of that mozzarella. It's going to be the final coat of the mozzarella. So give it a nice coating all over the top. Wow. You know this is going to be good. I reckon we're done. There you go. Only a little bit of pasta left. Not too much. I can eat that on its own. And we've got this, which is ready to go in the oven and be baked up. Now what I'm going to do is, I'm actually going to bake it half the time, a little bit of tin foil on, so it doesn't dry up too much. And then the other half, I'm going to take the tin foil off. So switch your oven on, get it preheated, and put some tin foil all over the pasta bake. Now I've got the pasta bake all done, and that is looking delicious, and we haven't even cooked it yet. Now what I'm going to do is put some tin foil over that, and I'm going to put it into a preheated oven. Now I've got my oven on at the moment, temperature wise 180 degrees Celsius, 350 degrees Fahrenheit, gas mark 4. Let's put it in the oven and cook it for about half an hour. Now halfway through, so after 15 minutes, take the tin foil off so that you brown off the top of it. So half an hour in total, and halfway through, take the tin foil off. Now I've been baking that pasta for about 15 minutes, just slightly under. Now I'm going to take this out. Whoop, carefully, don't lose it. Oh, look at that. It's all sort of like sticking to it. That's all right though. Got that off. Now, for the other 15 minutes, maybe 20 minutes, I'm going to bake it with no tin foil. So shut the oven, same temperature, and just get a nice golden brown colour on top, and that will be delicious. Now I've had that pasta baking in total for about 35 minutes. The first 15 minutes with tin foil on, and I actually left mine for another 20 minutes. So look at that. Looks absolutely delicious. Now it's going to be hot, so be very, very careful. Now I'm going to pull that out, put it on the table. Now I'm just going to serve some of this up. Kind of wondering where to go in, but it's nice and easy. I'll do it here really. So let's just get a good bit of that on there. Now I've got a little bit of that served up. I'm just going to put a little bit more in there. Oh yeah, look at that. That is looking delicious. Let's try some of that. Now I'll just serve some of that up, and let us have a little try of that. Let's try it just as it is, see how it is. It's got a beautiful colour, and it's still, you know, soft and a bit saucy. Let me try that. Really nice. And lovely. It is quite cheesy, but I don't know. I just like a little bit of parmesan on mine, so I'm going to sprinkle a last little bit, even at this point, over the top. Try a bit more. Oh, I'm going to go for that bit. That's good. It's looking good. That pasta bake is absolutely wonderful, and it's not that expensive because you've got pasta, you've got mince, cans of tomatoes, and you know, some other ingredients. But really, with that cheese, it is delicious. Oh, I'm going to try a bit more of that. And there's enough here for, I don't know, I'd say 8 people or 4 people for 2 days. That is really nice. I'm going to finish that off, and I'm actually going to have a bit more of that. It's so nice, so nice. Look at that. Oh, a bit of cheese. Thanks for watching my videos, especially if you watch them to the very end. And I'd love to have you as a subscriber. I really do appreciate that. If you like good food, hopefully, you know, that's what I'm cooking up. I think I am. I'm pretty sure I am. I definitely am. Delicious. See you in the next video. The Original Naked Chef.